The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners. Welcome, everybody, to episode 69. Nice of the Proton podcast. I'm Kristian. With me always is the Knuckles to my Sonic, Tony. Say hey, Tone.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, no. Sonic boom.
You're too slow.
I screwed all that. We practiced and rehearsed that, and I screwed it all up. But
That's all right.
There's like a jumbled of sound bites. Yeah, it's not just like so much Sonic things. It was supposed to, and then have the sound effects, whatever. But I'm good, man. We're episode 69 of the Proton Pack with Chris and Tony. It's good to be back.
Yep.
Another new episode, man.
Yeah, inching closer to that episode number 100, but, it's been going well. I think we've been having a nice little streak here with new episodes and, slightly shorter format, but been working well.
It's good. Yeah, we are June 1st, 2021. It is Michael Yendra's birthday. Rocking a Nebraska hat in his honor, and our fine sponsor for Fenix Media, Loot Crate. I'm sporting a Loot Crate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shirt I received in a Loot Crate box. So,
badass.
Yeah, this is a little plug before the shameless plugs.
Speaking of which, might as roll into them.
Shameless plug.
It is in these hills that Juan Valdez and his trusty goat gather coffee beans every morning. Money is cool.
Money is cool, and one of the things that we talk about each and every week in our shameless plugs is the Kristian Fenix radio show over on Fenix Media. Yeah, you get more of me, you get more of Tony every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time. While we dive a little bit into the geeky, nerdy stuff, it's more of a variety show. It's your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. And of course, as I mentioned, it is every weekday. You can check us out on Fenix Media over at fenixmedia.us, or you can get us from the comfort of your own home on the ngbn.tv smart TV app or mobile application on iOS and Android. Again, that's ngbn.tv, and you can get that show and all the great shows over at Fenix Media at fenixmedia.us. Now, Tony, you've returned to doing a show with our buddy Jimmy Jones, Pop Culture Kaboom. Go ahead and tell folks about it.
Yep. You can tune in every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's from 7 to 9. 7 to 9 is a 3-hour show. You can check it out on KNVC. That's 95.1 FM in the greater Carson City area in Nevada, if you're up there. Or go to knvc.org, where you can listen live. Jimmy Jones brings you a weekly live review of the latest in gaming, collectibles, comics, books, movies, television, and conventions. If it's nerdy, if it's geeky, if it's trending, they'll talk about it on Pop Culture Kaboom. He has an interview with creators about the hottest hits and welcome call-ins. Tune in and check out. Great show. New host Josh brings a fun dynamic. I do a movie segment with him, Jimmy. And I like the 3-person dynamic on that now. It's a lot of fun. And you can now also go back and listen to our past episodes. Go to knvc.org, click on the Pop Culture Kaboom show link there, and you can go all the way back and listen to past interviews, past movie segments. But I jump in about, I would say it's about 7:20. It's about the airtime if you want to listen to when I jump on, but definitely check it out. Give it a like, give it a follow, share. That's Pop Culture Kaboom. Everything you want, everything you need. knvc.org and 95.1 FM, Carson City Community Radio.
KNVC.
KNVC, baby.
Howard Stern fans.
And then,
all right.
And then,
that gets the shameless plugs out of the way. as we've been doing at the beginning of the show here, reviewing movies, TV shows that we've been catching. And Tony and I were both lucky enough to catch the latest release, a movie that we've been waiting for. Oh, we're talking A Quiet Place Part 2, which obviously the follow-up to A Quiet Place Part 1. This one directed by John Krasinski, obviously starring Emily Blunt, a little bit of John Krasinski in it as well, if you know how the first one finished up. And then Cillian Murphy, who does a great job in the movie. And for me, it was a great continuation. It picked up right where the last one left off. It gave us a little bit of a backstory of, what day one looked like, when these aliens landed and crash landed to Earth and, when chaos just started to rain down, and then sort of moved the story forward on, how they survive, how they get out of their farmhouse. And, it obviously sets up for a third one. I won't give any spoilers, but I think it was a great movie. It was a great return back to the theaters for, these big budget, and in this case, even a horror movie at this point in the year. I enjoyed the hell out of it. The pacing, the story, the acting, all of it was fantastic. Honestly, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. That's me. What do you think, Tone?
I agree with you. Pretty much the same review. It was entertaining to watch. I mean, not as quiet as the first Quiet Place, because, the first one, it was like the first 30 minutes of just silence and not knowing what's going on, where this one, does start out on day one, gets kind of crazy. It was suspenseful the whole time. It had my attention the entire time. Never once was I like, oh my gosh, this movie's not... I wanted to know more. Like the doc people were a little creepy. Like I want to see why people have turned bad and stuff. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Walking Dead world in a way. Some really cool stuff. Don't want to ruin anything. I just would, like Kristian said, go see it in theaters. It's meant to be in theaters. My only thing is I wish there was more people in the theater I went to. I would have loved the more jumpy stuff. I definitely want to see it again. I enjoyed it. I like the setup. There's no Easter eggs or post-credit stuff, so you don't have to sit through the credits. I give it a 9 out of 10 as well. Very enjoyable, well-paced movie. So it's very short too. Or maybe it just went by real fast. Because either way, I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was very suspenseful.
And that goes into the pacing of the movie, the way that they played with sound and silence, and I mean, just very, very well crafted. And I think they need to give John Krasinski more projects to direct, because I think he did a fantastic job with this. And like you said, just a lot of fun. We had a bunch of people in the theater, and having all those people around for those jump scares made it even that much more worthwhile. The only thing I regret is I saw it in a standard format. I would have loved to have seen it in Dolby Atmos with the true surround, because that would have just added to that fear factor that much more.
Yeah, I think if I see it again, that's the way I would definitely do it, because I just saw it in the theater up the street from my house, so it wasn't anything big. There was a few people in there, and you could hear a couple of, I couldn't see him jump or anything because I was lower, but definitely a fantastic movie.
Cool.
Definitely go see it. Give it a thumbs up there.
That does it for our review of A Quiet Place Part 2. When we come back, we're going to be talking TV news, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Behold my precious. Ooh, yeah, let me tell you something right here. It's the Loot Crate subscription box, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude! Cowabunga! To the Loot Gaming video game box. Woohoo! Yee-hoo!
Good Friday Horror Box. What's with kids today, huh?
Wowzers! With crates starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors.
To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/loot crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIX media.us/loot crate. Great Scott!
Snap into a Loot Crate, dig it?
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see, every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us. And we are back, folks, to the second segment of the Proton Pack podcast. Oh, and as we do in the second segment, we're going to be talking TV news.
Bazinga. Oh! The cream of the crop!
Hey, baby.
Let's go, Bob.
Excellent.
Hail to the king, baby.
Hail to the king, baby. All right, our first story here in TV news. Tony, growing up, were you a fan of the Garbage Pail Kids?
I was, man. Collected them. Who didn't like them as a kid? The movie was terrible, though. Oof.
The movie was awful. Did you use them as stickers, or did you collect them as the cards and try and keep them as pristine as possible?
Both. I mainly kept them pristine. I still have a ton of them in a book, so I must have been pretty good as a kid with them. But I do remember some of them putting them on things. So
maybe the doubles.
Yeah, the doubles. Yeah, that's probably where they were, because remember some I would stick on, but for the most part, my collection is intact. I still have them.
Very cool. Well, this is specifically for you then. The Hollywood Reporter reports that HBO Max is teaming with Topps, Tornante, and Danny McBride's Roughhouse Pictures to bring the beloved 1980s trading cards to life as an animated TV series. The article goes on to say that the project, which is currently in development at the Warner Media-backed streamer, is inspired by McBride and his Roughhouse partner David Gordon Green's love for Garbage Pail Kids and Saturday morning cartoons. The expectation is that the animated series will be family-friendly and appeal to audiences of all ages. McBride, Green, and Josh Bicel from Hulu's Solar Opposites will write and co-create the HBO Max series. Tornante TV's Noel Bright and Stephen A. Cohen will executive produce alongside Roughhouse's Brandon James, who did The Righteous Gemstones alongside McBride, Green, and Bicel. It's yet to be determined if McBride will lend his voice to any of the characters in the potential series. Now, I would assume he probably will, because he likes doing those voiceover gigs. How do you feel about it being family-friendly as opposed to like an R-rated comedy that might appeal more in the whole Garbage Pail Kids genre?
Well, I don't know how you make them super family-friendly. There's just, you know, in this day and age, don't people get offended easy? And back then it was like, some of them were pretty graphic. Like you look in this picture here. I mean, you like had Large Marge, which is this really big fat one that's just eating. Then you have Buggy Betty, and then I think that's Waxy Wendy and Brain Jane, or I don't know is it the artist. I would imagine the one doing the animation, the guy that does the art. Like, because if anything, like the article does say, the cards are good for a chuckle. You looked at them and you're like, oh, those are cool. It was always about the spoof of the Cabbage Patch Kids and just made them, Garbage Pail Kids, and they're done. And
how gross they could get, They how gross themselves.
I don't know what kind of kids it'll appeal to, but, and that's the thing, too, is do kids really go right to HBO Max to watch their stuff? I'm on the fence with it. Will I check it out? Sure. I'm curious. Do I think it'd be something that, the young ones are going to be watching? Probably not. And where you have that appeal where you want the Saturday morning cartoon feel to have, the problem is you're not on just everyday basic cable. You're not on ABC or CBS or NBC where we used to catch, or Fox, where we used to catch our Saturday morning cartoons. Like that stuff you saw for free. And I don't know how streaming kids do it nowadays. Most kids go to YouTube, Disney Plus, I'd imagine. I don't really know, but
it's no longer.
We shall see.
Appointment television. It's mostly streaming, but if you can get that sort of feeling on a streaming service, good for them. Well, speaking of HBO Max and moving to another property that we've been reporting on as information comes back, it sounds like Lee Toland Krieger is being given a power ring. Word has arrived from the 3,600 sectors of the universe that Krieger is set to direct and executive produce the first 2 episodes of The Green Lantern. It's HBO Max's highly anticipated superhero series. So far,
Green Lantern!
Green Lantern has cast Finn Wittrock as the blowhard Lantern Guy Gardner, Jeremy Irvine as the first Lantern Alan Scott. The series is expected to take place in the 1980s with other Lanterns, including the half-alien Bree Jarda, set to join the universe-spanning adventure. In the past, Krieger has helmed films like Celeste and Jesse Forever and The Age of Adeline. Eventually, he made his way into television and quickly cemented himself as the go-to director for standout pilot episodes. He shot the pilots for The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Fox's Prodigal Son, and of course, Superman and Lois. So, given his background, sounds like he's probably the right guy to go to for this series. And like I've said before, anything is better than that awful Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern.
Exactly. I'm not a big Green Lantern guy in general, but DC property animation could be good. It's in the right hands. It's in the right market. Everything DC anymore is all on HBO Max, so it's the right platform. Yep. I think as long as you got writers and everyone that believes in the script and actually give it love, it's always about people that are fans of the property that make these things successful. It's people that don't really know what the hell they're doing. They're just given a task and they do their best with it. Not as good, but it could be a good one to watch for sure.
Yeah. With all that being said, so Greg Berlanti, who's behind the Arrowverse and all of the spin-off shows that by all intents and purposes have been fantastic. He was also the guy behind the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern. So, for the most part, a good track record, but he is involved with this. Hopefully he learned from those mistakes to make this that much better.
Exactly. Yeah, it's worth a check out. Worst thing it is it's bad and you're just like, oof, yep, crap. Yeah. So,
well, let's move on from the world of DC television over to Marvel television, where it's reported that Danai Gurira, Michonne herself, is getting her own Black Panther spin-off series. After starring in the hit 2018 movie, Gurira is on board to reprise her role as Okoye in the upcoming sequel, Wakanda Forever. In a new article by The Hollywood Reporter highlighting Hollywood's most prominent attorneys, it was revealed that a deal was brokered for Gurira to return as Okoye in the Black Panther sequel, along with an original spin-off series for Disney+. So it sounds like she might be getting something separate from even Wakanda Forever. Collider has since reportedly confirmed the news with sources close to the project, and representatives for Disney and Marvel had no comment. No other details were revealed about the Okoye series, but the concept seems to be a prequel series following Okoye before the events of Black Panther. Tony, obviously Marvel's doing some great stuff with their television. Mm-hmm. Is this something else to get you excited for more Marvel TV on Disney?
Well, I don't want to crap on it, but I'll watch it because it's Marvel. Is it something that gets me excited? Not really. I mean, I love her character. She does a great job with it. I do just see Michonne, unfortunately, just a bald Michonne. Yeah. But no, I'd like to see, post. I don't need to see a prequel of how she got there. I'd like to see what's going on now. I'd even like to see this build up right before Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Like what's been going on in Wakanda now to get to where it is.
Right.
And that would be more
Chadwick Boseman's death, who gets the new mantle, and how, Okoye might play into all of this would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a little pre-build for that would be good. Or if it takes place right after Wakanda Forever and we get a kind of a continuation. As long as it ties to all that, then sure, it'd be great. But as far as a standalone series for the character, no, not really. I'll watch it, but not overly excited, no.
All right. Well, this might make you excited. Staying in the world of Marvel television on Disney+, Shooter McGavin himself, Christopher McDonald, is joining the cast of Marvel's Secret Invasion. Like everything else about the anticipated release, the nature of McDonald's role is being kept under wraps. He joins previously announced stars Samuel L. Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn, Emilia Clarke, Olivia Colman, Kingsley Ben-Adir, and Killian Scott for what promises to be a major Marvel event. Now, Marvel's Secret Invasion is expected to follow a group of shape-shifting aliens who have been infiltrating Earth for years. The story is, of course, based on the Marvel Comics event series of the same name that ran from 2008 to 2009. The event featured an array of Marvel's most popular characters and gave every reader a healthy dose of paranoia to boot. Remember, a Skrull can become anyone from anywhere. Obviously, Marvel will be telling a version of the story that's tailored to fit their cinematic universe. I'm excited the more I hear about this Secret Invasion. We already know from Captain Marvel that the Skrulls are no longer the bad guys. They're actually more allies. But are we going to see the inclusion of the Super Skrull in this or Fantastic Four or some crossover over thereof?
Yeah, no, this one is exciting because it ties into the whole Marvel universe, and I want to know more about the Skrulls because they didn't get a huge part in Captain Marvel, but I like where they're going with it. So this and then you add Shooter McGavin to the mix. So yes, this one excited about.
Very cool. Well, he'll be eating pieces of Skrull for breakfast. Folks, that does it for TV news. When we come back, we're going to be talking weekend box office report and movie news. Don't touch that dial. We'll see you in a few.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community.
Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us. And welcome back, folks, to the third segment. Yeah, we're talking movie news. We just finished up with our TV news, but not before we get to our box office weekend box office report. I just said box office weekend box office report.
That's weekend box office box office.
It's the way it goes after a long holiday. Let's get into it. Well, audiences rush back to theaters, us included, for the silent scares on this Memorial Day weekend, putting A Quiet Place Part 2 at the top of the box office with an estimated opening of $48.3 million. It's brought in $58.5 over the 4-day domestic holiday weekend, and strongest box office debut since Sonic the Hedgehog opened back in February of 2020. So,
ooh, that's Sonic. He's the Hedgehog. Oh, the adventures will go on, Sonic.
We mentioned that box office is starting to get back to normal. This is a great movie to sort of kick things back into gear. Worldwide so far, it's made about $70.4 million, and I see no signs of stopping because it's a great movie. We gave our review in the first segment, and you know what? There's no doubt that a third one is coming down the road.
Right. They definitely leave it open.
In second place was a movie that we expected could have taken first. Fortunately, it didn't, and it was Disney's Cruella, brought in an estimated $21.3 million. I think a little bit less than what they had probably expected, but of course, it's also available on Disney Plus's Premier Access as well. Haven't heard any reviews on it, how it's doing. I see that it has a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, which I guess for what it is probably pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about it. I did like in the little news segments in between the break of the Fenix show earlier was, who would have thought that Disney can make a lovable story about a villain that would skin puppies for fashion? So,
right.
Which is kind of what Cruella de Vil is,
It really is, and make it a family-friendly movie, and make you feel sympathetic for her. It doesn't make any sense, but somehow Disney does it. In third place was the R-rated horror sequel spinoff Spiral from the Book of Saw. Brought another
Hey, Spiral!
Brought another $2.27 million for a domestic total of $19.7. Probably a little less than they expected overall, but you know what? It's maybe not the right movie at the right time, as we've talked about.
No, this one should have been released probably around Halloween. Probably would have done a hell of a lot better.
Yep. Yep. In fourth place was a movie I was disappointed by. Talked a little bit about last week with 2.1 million, talking the Jason Statham, Guy Ritchie directed Wrath of Man. Worldwide total so far is 72 million, which, it's making back its money, but not a great movie by any means.
Nah, I won't see it based off your review last week. I'm good.
Fair enough. And then in fifth place, still holding in there, is the Disney fantasy Raya and the Last Dragon, brought another $2 million for a worldwide total of $111.5 million. And again, that doesn't include what they've gotten from Premier Access so far. So my guess is they're doing pretty well.
Right. That's still not even like free stream on Disney. You still got to pay to see it. So
Yep.
That's doing well.
Rounding out the top 10, in sixth place, you had Godzilla vs. Kong with $852,000. In seventh place, Demon Slayer the movie, Mugen Train with $837,000. And Dream Horse in eighth place with $652,000.
About a horse that dreams.
Yep. Ninth place, Those Who Wish Me Dead, $545,000.
I'm sure there's a few that wish.
And then in 10th place is a movie I didn't even realize was returning to theaters, World War Z, with $347,000. It was good on its original outing.
Isn't that sad that World War Z came back to theaters and did more than Army of the Dead? Because Army of the Dead is playing in some theaters. I'm surprised that that's not somewhere in the top 10.
Limited run, but that's the way it goes. And then, folks, this upcoming weekend, again, sticking with the horror streak, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It is coming out not only in theaters but also on HBO Max. And then Tony, you can check out Spirit Untamed. I know you.
Oh, that's the horse movie, where she's a little girl that loses her mom, and then the horse follows her, and she thinks her mom's in the spirit of the horse, and Taylor Swift music plays. Oh, looks like a great pile of crap there. But now, if you have a little girl, though, I did say in Pop Culture Boom, if you have a little girl or little kids, that might be a great movie to go take them to. Don't take them to see The Conjuring. Maybe go take them to see Spirit Untamed.
There you go. Fair enough.
Yeah,
well, that does it for the weekend box office report. Let's go ahead and head into our movie news.
And here we go.
Are you the keymaster?
Wrap it up, fuzzball.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
This baby hits 88 miles per hour. You're gonna see some serious shit.
Yeah, we are. Well, kicking off the movie news, we're going to start with our trailer of the week for a trailer that just dropped, and it's hitting Paramount Plus, so it's not even going to movies, starring Mark Wahlberg, directed by Antoine Fuqua. Great brass behind it. Tony and I haven't seen the trailer yet, so you'll be watching it for the first time along with us. Here's the trailer for Infinite.
Mark Fuqua. Knuckle sandwich.
You are an infinite.
You're an infant.
Evan Macaulay. Diagnosed with schizophrenia at 14. After carving the words, "Look inside," into your chest with a box cutter.
And a big chest it is.
Look inside. Why those?
So let me in your house, Mr. Walker.
Which one of these is yours?
Look, you could skip the whatever the hell this is because none of that is mine.
Was it yours?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jesus! Every time you say, "I don't know," this trigger gets pulled. Is it yours?
Look, I don't know.
Are you out of your mind?
Last chance, Evan. Is this yours?
Yeah.
Hello, old friend.
Oh, get in!
Come with me if you want to live. It's a freaking Terminator.
This isn't your first life.
Evan, you are an infinite. You've lived and died 1,000 times.
You're talking about reincarnation.
If you can remember who you were, you will understand who you can become.
Hey,
Let's throw you a knuckle sandwich.
When I read the synopsis for it, I was afraid it would be another take on the whole Groundhog Day sort of thing. Luckily, that's not the case. It seems that he keeps, being reincarnated. But, Antoine Fuqua, The Equalizer, Magnificent Seven, Training Day, great directing pedigree, Chiwetel Ejiofor, as can't tell, is he the good guy? Is he the bad guy? But ultimately, it comes out in 9 days on Paramount Plus. I'll be checking it out. What about you?
I'll check it out on the streaming service. I actually wouldn't mind seeing this. Too bad they didn't put it out in theaters. It would have looked like a good one to go up against A Quiet Place, The Conjuring, and then Spirit. Gives you a little more like if you have that action itch, you could be like, no, there's this new Mark Wahlberg movie. I mean, shoot, it's got to be like Wrath of Man. You hadn't heard much about it, and you could have thrown it out there. But, cool. Yeah, you got Paramount Plus. I mean, see, that's kind of the bummer. It's the only way you're really going to be watching this is Paramount Plus for a while until they put it out on the rental on-demands and things like that. And then you could probably check it out there, I'd imagine. Yeah. But missed opportunity. This probably would have been good in theaters.
Yeah, I mean, big budget action sci-fi type movie. I would have seen it in theaters, but you know what?
Yeah, it looks good though.
Yep,
I like Mark Wahlberg. Anyways, most of his movies are pretty entertaining. So
yeah. Well, moving on from our trailer of the week to some reshoot news. We reported that there's a new Resident Evil movie coming out, not associated with the previous series. Well, on a recent Twitch stream, Resident Evil Welcome to Racoon City star Robbie Amell, who's playing Chris Redfield in the upcoming feature film reboot of the classic video game horror franchise, said that the film is currently doing reshoots.
Reshoots. Words are hard, and this is the wrong show for that. Yeah.
He said, I'm actually back in Toronto for Resident Evil reshoots. The official synopsis, once the booming home of pharmaceutical giant Umbrella Corporation, Racoon City is now a dying Midwestern town. The company's exodus left the city a wasteland, with great evil brewing below the surface. When that evil is unleashed, the townspeople are forever changed, and a small group of survivors must work together to uncover the truth behind Umbrella and make it through the night. I hope that it is more of a true horror movie, maybe a little more true to the video game series, as opposed to as ridiculous as the Mia Jovovich series got. But I'm kind of looking forward to it. And reshoots aren't anything to be scared by.
No.
Movies have reshoots just due to the fact that, they need to pick up things here or there to better tell the story.
Yeah, definitely. There's always test audiences or sometimes viewing panels, and it's just like, yeah, we could have done this better. So definitely not a bad thing. It's when it's stuck in developmental hell and you start losing directors and writers and actors. Those are where it starts to get the red rings of death.
Exactly. And then finally here in movie news, I wanted to talk about an interesting piece of news that came out here recently. Sony executive Sanford Panitch
the bitch,
has hinted that Sony's shared Marvel Universe plan will kick off with Spider-Man No Way Home. For years, Sony's film rights to Marvel's Spider-Man have been a convoluted web of tension and confusion. However, by far the most interesting part of the Spider-Man rights saga was when Sony and Marvel collaborated to bring Spider-Man into the MCU. The deal brought viewers a slew of films set in the MCU, with Tom Holland taking on the Spider-Man role for 6 films. The shared ownership raised an interesting idea that the MCU's Holland can technically appear in Sony's Marvel films. Meanwhile, Sony has continued growing and expanding their own Marvel universe. Venom was released in 2018, and its sequel will be premiering in 2021. Kraven the Hunter will be debuting in 2023, and suspiciously will star former MCU's Quicksilver, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Now, Taylor Johnson's casting is likely coincidence, but it is interesting that the MCU and Sony, have that connection. But it's looking like this next Marvel Spider-Man movie will officially sort of bridge that gap into bringing Tom Holland home to Sony and what Sony's going to do with the rest of the Spider-Man series. Are you excited? Are you fearful that they won't give it the same respect that Marvel's given it?
No, I bet Kevin Feige will be somewhat tied to it a little bit. It may get away from being tied to MCU stories, but if it develops a well-crafted Sinister Six like they originally tried to do years ago, and hell, I like the multiverse stuff. I like the idea of bringing in like past characters at different points. Having all the Peter Parkers. That's fine with me. That's totally fine. If that spins off new franchises of The Amazing Spider-Man or Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, then cool. I mean, we the fans are the ones that get to enjoy. Who gives two shits what Disney and Sony do with each other? As long, if they're playing nice and everybody's making a buck and they're telling great stories and it's not some junko, and you can actually now have a reason for Kraven or Mysterio or Morbius. Or what else? Morbius. Yeah. Like now we can start getting better tales for all that. Then yeah, absolutely. Because poor Sony does not have a lot to pull from. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, what were they talking about? Cheetah Girl and this, you start to pull random bullshit. So this is a good
characters. Yeah.
This is really good for us in the geeky nerdy world. Now, I think having Tom Holland still as Spider-Man and tie them all together, it's just awesome. Plus, it makes you think all this could tie to the MCU. There's always the gapes. It's like having Michael Keaton appear in the Morbius trailer. It just makes it ties. It's awesome. I like it.
Well, folks, that does it for movie news. When we come back, we'll be finishing up the show with a little bit of TV news. So don't go anywhere. No, sorry, video game news. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Behold my precious. Ooh, yeah, let me tell you something right here. It's the Loot Crate subscription box, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude! Cowabunga! To the Loot Gaming video game box. Woohoo! Yee-hoo!
Loot Crate Horror Box. What's with kids today, huh?
Wowzers! With crates starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors.
To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/Loot Crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIX media.us/Loot Crate. Great Scott!
Snap into a Loot Crate, dig it!
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio, take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Dear John, I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to when you checked on me? I don't want to leave, but remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart and don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range today. For help keeping yours at a healthy range, text PRESSURE to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio, take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman!
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us. And we are back, folks, to the fourth and final segment of the Proton Pack podcast. We got through TV news. We got through movie news. Now it's time to talk a little bit about video games.
Hey, man, you want to play some video games?
Good.
Well, first up in video games, Tone, have you ever wanted to create your own Nintendo video game?
No, not really.
But
I know the segment. Yeah, it's for people. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I know, like, your son and my nephew Corbin, he likes to create things, so video game wise. But yeah, no, I like playing people's created stuff though.
Very cool. Well, there's something for everybody, and Nintendo's making it a little bit easier since they've announced Game Builder Garage, a new game that will let you learn to make games from the mindset Nintendo. Its guided lessons and cute characters are designed to help you create a multitude of gaming experiences. On the face of it, the new game looks a lot like Dreams, which was released on PlayStation 4 in early 2020. It also seems to be in the spirit of Labo, which encouraged kids to craft unique items using cardboard. Game Builder Garage is designed to teach visual game programming by connecting creatures called Nodon. There are dozens of Nodon in Game Builder Garage, each with its own unique function. Lessons will be available to teach you the basics of designing games, with free programming mode available for those who want to go wild. The experiences touted in the trailer include platformers, shoot-'em-ups, and something called Tuna Cube Factory 2.
Tuna Cube Factory?
It will also be possible to exchange and download games over the internet or via local wireless, which you can then examine via free programming mode to learn their inner workings. To aid in development, Game Builder Garage will support a compatible mouse, which can be plugged into the USB port on the Switch dock. The announcement comes ahead of Nintendo's earnings release, which is expected, it was a couple days ago. But Game Builder Garage will be released on June 11th on the Nintendo Switch. So a little over a week, you can start creating your own Nintendo games.
I think it's a great idea. I think this also gives kids the creative imagination and encouragement that maybe down the line they can be video game developers. Maybe that's a career they pursue in. Maybe they have a level that's downloaded so much and so fun, because kids are creative. They have wild imaginations. I really loved the creativity of Super Mario Maker. Playing some of those levels were so damn fun. So the creativity's out there. For me personally, as an adult, I don't really have that time, and I say that all the time. I wouldn't have time to sit and develop this. So maybe not a game I would pick up, but if I had, a kid or kids that were interested in this, I think it's a fantastic way to get the creative juices going while playing video games. I think it's neat. So kudos on Nintendo, and can't wait to see what the young generation out there, or even the older generation, come up with it.
Yeah, and I may pick it up just for when the boys are out during the summer to see what they can create. Because, as you mentioned, Corbin's interested in programming, and this might be a great way to do just that.
Absolutely. I think it's perfect. I immediately thought when I read it, I thought Corbin all the way on that.
Yep. Well, let's move on from Nintendo over to Sega. Last week, we talked about how Sega was planning their Sonic's Central stream, which was set to talk about some new Sonic the Hedgehog things. Well, that has since happened, and the Sonic Central stream has revealed a number of new projects featuring the world's premier blue hedgehog, all designed to tie into the series' 30th anniversary celebrations. And here's everything that they released. For instance, there is a new game from Sonic Team. Sega announced that its Sonic Team, which has previously released Sonic Generations and Sonic Forces, has begun work on a new mainline Sonic game. A teaser trailer, which we'll put up on our Facebook page, revealed that the game will arrive in 2022 for PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. No other information was revealed, but the teaser shows Sonic picking up speed in a forest setting, which seems to cause digital effects around him before his trailer leaves behind what looks like a runic symbol.
Yeah, I watched the trailer for it. I'm still hoping it comes out. I've heard the rumored name is going to be called Sonic Rangers, which, what a stupid ass name. Sonic Adventure 3 would be badass. I'm excited. Sonic Team, for the most part, they do really good Sonic 3D games, so we'll see. Okay. Yeah. I'll check it out. I mean, at least a demo at the very least.
Yeah. Well, if that one doesn't get you excited, it might. Sonic Colors Ultimate is a remaster of the 2010 platformer, which will come to PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC through the Epic Game Store on September 7th. Developed by Blind Squirrel Entertainment, the remaster will update the game's look and feel, as well as add new features and a new mode called Rival Rush. I haven't played Sonic Colors, but I know that you mentioned it was actually a pretty fun game, Tom.
Yeah, it was a popular game on the Nintendo Wii. It was an exclusive, so not a lot of people got to play it, but a real fun Sonic game from what I remember playing with my nephews when it was out. I think the updated HD visuals and everything being on today's platforms will be a lot of fun. So totally. At least they're not re-releasing crappy Sonic the Hedgehog from the Xbox 360 where he turned into a werewolf. Really, really bad game.
Well, speaking of re-releases that are well worth it, Sega also announced Sonic Origins, a compilation of Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles, and Sonic CD. There's been no release date yet, but I mean, those are the classic Sonic games, all getting their own compilation on one package, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, well, and what's good about this is originally when I told you, I go, I don't know about that because I've already downloaded Sonic, from the 360 one. Well, these are going to be brought up to HD res. They're going to sharpen it up, remaster. They're going to be crisper, and they're going to have rewind points and some other cool things about it. I guess the guy directing it's done a lot of the old school re-releases like for Capcom and things like that. So, hey, these are just good nostalgia games. The fact that Sonic CD's included with them is that much better. Great 16-bit Sonic games. And that's awesome. And I guess Sonic 3... didn't realize, but Michael Jackson composed a lot of the music for it. So there was an issue. So for a while, Sonic 3 you couldn't get because of licensing, but it's back. And Sonic 3 was actually a pretty good game too. So,
and apparently, according to this, it'll also be in a widescreen format, which makes it pretty cool. And they announced a whole bunch of other stuff. We'll put this article up on our Facebook page. A new Netflix series, mobile games, some other re-releases. Definitely well worth checking out. But folks, that does it for another episode of the Proton Pack Podcast. Want to remind everybody, check us out online, Facebook at facebook.com/Proton Pack Podcast. Want to thank everybody again for tuning in when you can and keeping us going each and every week with brand new content. Tony, anything you want to leave folks on?
Like I say every week, we appreciate you guys listening, subscribing. Sorry it's not live, but if you're watching it and you want to text along and message me, I'm looking at you, Lacey. If you want to do that while you're watching, feel free to. I'll respond to you as if it were a live show, even though we've already recorded it. But thank you guys. Please share, like, subscribe, spread it, and for video games, download the new Ghouls and Ghosts. It's out on your PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So there you go. Other than that, see you guys next week.
All right, folks, that does it. We'll see you all then.
I am. Hasta la vista, baby.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. Woo!
Mommy, where's Fluffy?
Goodbye.